on, Spitfires. Welcome back to another episode of the Spitfire Podcast. I am your host, Lauren Lemunyon, the Spitfire Coach, here with some helpful tips to help you feel a little bit more fired up in your day. And this is a helpful reminder that if you would like a little more fire in your day, week, month, year, whatever, your life, make sure you're subscribed on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, wherever you listen to your podcasts, or head on over to Spitfire Podcast. You can get all of our episodes there. Make sure you tell a friend. Today, as I'm recording this show, the final days of summer upon us. I don't know what happened in August, but it was like I snapped my fingers and magically summer just started speeding up. I mean, I've had a lot going on. We've all had a lot going on, and some days felt like they lasted an eternity, but now it feels like we're losing summer. And we're not losing summer. I mean, time is one of those things that it comes and it goes, and it could be ours if we appreciate it. But I want to talk today about how to actually take vacation and come back rested and recharged. And I cannot tell you how many of my clients do not know how to do this. And I realized, I really didn't know how to do it either up until recently. Because I was the person who, guess what, can work from anywhere. And guess who did? I did. So I was a nervous, stressed out, always needing to work, always feeling like I was going to miss an opportunity, or my clients were going to come back, or I had to work because I had to make money. And if I didn't make money, then everything was going to fall apart. And the only thing that ended up falling apart was my sanity, was my energy, was my health. And so I had to get really honest with myself about, listen, chick, like, you got one life to live, and how do you want to live it? So I find it really interesting when my clients come to me and say, I'm really nervous about taking time off. I'm really nervous about coming back from vacation. And this is so common because imagine if you're already feeling stressed out and overwhelmed and you have a mountain of a to-do list and you step away from it for a week or 2 weeks, or maybe it's a day or two, and all you can think about are the messages, the voicemails, the emails, the mountain of responsibility awaiting you when you return. And so what ends up happening is you can't relax when you're at home because all you're thinking about is that mountain that is waiting for you. So then you convince yourself that you just need to go and check your email. You just need to go and check Slack. You just need to go and check your voicemail and text messages on your work phone. And then you fall into the rabbit hole. And you start to get distracted. And then the momentum picks up. The anxiety picks up. And you put your phone down and you slap your hand and you say, no, I will not do that. I will not focus on this work because I am on vacation. I am here with my family. I need this time. But your mind, your ego, has other ideas. It starts focusing on all the things that you should be doing instead of relaxing and recharging. And then you start comparing and judging yourself. And thus the cycle continues. And you come back after your quote-unquote vacation even worse than when you left. You are not rested, you are not recharged, and you are beating yourself up on the inside for not handling things how you'd want to be handled. So first, let us all take a deep breath. And let's use this as an opportunity to forgive ourselves from past violations of our vacation serenity. All that judgment, let us just put this to the side and acknowledge that we have not treated ourselves very well. We have not been good stewards of our own well-being. And guess what? Once you know, you cannot unknow it. So this is our opportunity to redefine what vacation is about, how we want to feel when we're on vacation, and most importantly, how we want to feel when we are returning back from vacation. Vacation is about us taking that time out, that necessary break, that hiatus. And you know, in a lot of companies, they actually have mandatory sabbaticals. They have mandatory time that you step away. In the financial industry, this is a big deal because this is the opportunity to audit, to see, you know what, has there been any corruption or fraud happening? I don't know. If we aren't there, then we get to see how processes work without us being involved with it. Where do we have breakdowns? Where are things maybe working better when we're not there, or working less efficiently? This is a key part of business. We need to take breaks because we need to be able to see how realistic and reasonable it is without you there. Yes, that's right. You can be replaced. We all can be replaced, but you're still special. I still think you're special. So we need to take breaks because our brains can't continue to operate as machines. We are not a piece of machinery. We are not robots. And even robots need to be serviced. Even machines need to be serviced. They need to go offline so that they can have their checks in software, so that they can, have belts replaced and they can be oiled up. You should be oiled up on a beach. Doesn't that sound amazing? So it's essential. It is essential for you to take a break. But I want you to also realize the message that you're sending to your team when you don't actually take breaks, when you don't actually recharge when you step away, when you actually don't honor that time with your family. What are you trying to do here? Who are you trying to prove it to? This is old story. And you probably have had a stressful situation where you've had a boss who's violated boundaries, who's messaged you while you're away, while you're with family, and you have probably responded. And maybe that was a toxic situation. Maybe it was an emergency. But the reality is we start to categorize everything, every communication, as urgent, as important, when in reality it's not. It's our own interpretation. So when we are away, we need to have boundaries. We need to have different rules of operating, different guiding principles. So first, when I'm away on vacation, I agree to do the following things. Are you ready? You're going to write down your own list, but here are mine. I agree to remove social media apps off my phone. I agree to not check work email. I agree to put an out-of-office response on my email. I agree to not schedule client meetings while I'm on vacation. That's a big one for me. I'm like, I can just squeeze in a meeting. No, vacation is vacation. So there are some people who have Slack. A lot of my clients have that. Take this app off your phone when you are walking away. There's something about that sound of a ping that elicits a stress response. That sound is very triggering. And the same thing happens with Instagram alerts, with Facebook alerts. It gives you that same response. So we're trying to de-stress you. So let's eliminate all of those stress points, all of those triggers. Let people know in advance, well in advance, that you will be taking vacation, and create a contingency plan. So in my absence, please contact this person. And then that person can then determine if it is an emergency and be clear about what makes an emergency an emergency. It's not that, they couldn't find where a file was, or they couldn't figure out how to do a mail merge. That's what Google's for. It's a beautiful thing. This is your opportunity to train people to be more autonomous, to have more agency, to feel more independent. Ultimately, what you want to do as a leader. Anyway, this is great training grounds for this. This is where you can start to delegate away. So as you are preparing for a vacation, you need to also put your plan in place, your contingency. Who's responsible for what? What are the scenarios? So use that potential anxiety and worry to build your contingency plans. Oh no, this is going to happen. Okay, let's imagine that happens and you're not there. Who's going to do what? Who's going to take on what? What needs to happen while you're gone? You cannot do everything. You are not meant to do everything. It's a very inefficient business model to do that. And if you are that in demand, you are holding things up. You are the bottleneck. So this is the time to take the lid off the bottle and depressurize. This vacation allows you to not just unplug and recharge, but it allows your team to see what else they can do. What else can they take on? What else are they capable of? And if they can't handle it, well then what's wrong with the process? What needs to be shifted and changed in the process? If it's not sustainable, then we either don't have enough resources, the process is broken, the product is broken, but we can't mask over it. We can't duct tape it and say that it's perfection, because that's not truth. You deserve to have a break. It is a necessary part of life. Even if you're a small business owner, even if you're just getting your business off the ground, take a break. I wrote an article about this, of why you need to pre-schedule your vacations, especially as a business owner. I made this mistake. I didn't go on vacation for 5 years. I worked throughout my vacations. And I recently just took time off. I'm about to go on vacation in less than 2 weeks. And I've blocked out my calendar. I don't have a single session. I might start twitching. So the next podcast may be how to work through your workup sessions while you're on vacation and not annoy the person that you're traveling with. We'll see what happens from that. But be proactive. Look for the gaps. If you're having a stress response, get curious about it. What is it that you need to figure out? What questions do you need to ask? What resources do you need to build a plan that's outside of you so that you can step away? And exhale. Remember to breathe. Just remember to breathe. That's the biggest thing about being on vacation, is to just be present, take it in, enjoy the time, and really capture those memories. And I hope this was helpful. If you're listening to this on Labor Day or soon around it, I hope that you have a wonderful Labor Day if you are in the States. If not, wherever you are in the world, I hope that you take a break as much as you can, because we all need it. And to all the Spitfires out there, you keep being awesome.